Hello everyone, I am Ishwari from Grade 7 Rules for the International School Worship, and today we are going to learn about geography. I have made a presentation for you all about the topic elements of weather and climate. So let's learn geography. Today we are going to learn elements of weather and climate, and I hope you will understand it after seeing the video. Firstly, what is weather? So weather is the atmospheric conditions at a particular place that change after a short period of time. And climate. So climate is the average weather condition of a place that extends over a long period of time. For example, for approximately 35 years. So the basic difference between climate and weather is that the weather extends for a short period of time, whereas climate extends over a very long period of time, for example, approximately 35 years. So, the elements of weather, there are 6 different elements of weather: temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, condensation, and precipitation. But today we are going to learn only about 3 of them: temperature, atmospheric pressure, and wind. So let's start with the first, that is temperature. So the temperature, it is the degree of hotness or coldness of air at a given time. Like suppose if I am telling you that today's temperature is 71 degree Fahrenheit. So here I am telling you the exact temperature at a given time. And the temperature, as we all know, is measured by a thermometer. It works on a principle that the mercury, it will expand when it is heated and it will contract when it is cooled or when it is cooling. The next is atmospheric pressure. So the atmospheric pressure, it means the pressure that is exerted on the surface of the earth by the weight of the column of air. It means simply the pressure exerted on the surface of the earth by the air, by the column of air. So the atmospheric pressure, it can be measured with an instrument called barometer. So this is a barometer. You can see here. So the next is world pressure belt. So the world pressure belts are very important to understand. So there are 4 different world pressure belts. They are equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt, and polar high pressure belt. So I want to tell you that when the temperature is high, at that time the pressure is low, and when the pressure is low, the temperature is high. So here, the first is equatorial low pressure belt. It is from 0 to 5 degree north and south of the equator, and it lies in the equatorial region. This layer or this belt is also known as doldrums. The next is subtropical high pressure belt. So the subtropical high pressure belt, it is situated at about 30 degree north and south of the equator. And as I told you that the wind, when the temperature is low, at that time the pressure is high. So here the subtropical pressure is low compared to the equatorial region. Thus it is called high pressure belt. This belt is also referred as the horse latitudes. Now let's see about the subpolar low pressure belt. So the subpolar low pressure belt has more temperature that is compared to polar regions. So thus it's a low pressure belt. So it is between 60 degree and 70 degree in each of the hemisphere, and it is formed near Arctic and Antarctic circles. This is the region where the wind coming from the subtropics and the polar region meet and they rise up. When the winds meet, at that time the wind that is warmer and lighter in weight rises up to the troposphere. And the last but not the least is polar high pressure belt. So polar high pressure belt has very low temperature, so thus it's a high pressure belt. It is situated at the north and south poles between 70 degree to 90 degree north and south, and it is formed near to the polar regions. Since the region receives very little rays of the sun, it is extremely cold. Thus, the cold heavy air creates a high pressure area. And the northern wind, or the wind that is present in the northern hemisphere, travels to the right direction, and the wind that is present in the southern hemisphere travels to the left direction. This is just because of the earth's rotation, because the earth rotates from west to east. Now let's move towards the last topic, that is wind. So wind is the horizontal movement of air, and the vertical movement is called the air current. Let me give you a demo. So over here, this is wind because it's a horizontal movement, whereas this is air current because it's a vertical movement. So guys, this is about wind and air current. Now the, there is an instrument called anemometer which is used to measure the speed of the wind. So this is the anemometer, and this is a wind vane. So the wind vane, it is used to measure the direction of the wind. So up to now we have studied about the elements of weather, that are temperature, atmospheric pressure and wind. Let's revise them. Firstly, temperature. Firstly, weather. So weather, it is the atmospheric pressure, it's the atmospheric condition at a particular place that changes after a short period of time. And climate is the average weather condition that extends over a long period of time, approximately for 35 years. Then there are six elements of weather: atmos temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, condensation and precipitation, from which we have studied about three of them: temperature, atmospheric pressure and wind. So temperature, it is the degree of hotness or coldness of a air at a given time, and it is measured by a thermometer. Atmospheric pressure is the pressure exerted on the surface of the earth by the column of wind, and it is measured by the barometer. Then the world pressure belts. So there are four world pressure belts: equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt and polar high pressure belt. And the wind travels from high pressure to low pressure. The northern hemisphere's wind travels in right direction and the southern travels in left direction because of the rotation of earth. Then we studied about wind. So wind is the horizontal movement of air and vertical movement is called air current. Anemometer is used to measure the speed of wind, and wind vane is used to measure the direction of wind. So guys, now I would like to end my video and I hope you have understood about the elements of weather. Thank you.